जय श्री माता जी। अब हम सब मिलके श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों को प्रणाम कर कर कुंडलिनी उठाकर बंधन लेंगे। लेट अस ऑल humbly bow down at Shri Mataji's lotus feet, raise kundalini and take bandhan. महामंत्र एवं श्री गणेश मंत्र।
Shri Sahasra Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
जय श्री माता जी। अब हम अपने चित्त को सहस्त्रार पर रखते हुए श्री माता जी की अमृत वाणी को सुनेंगे। कीपिंग आवर अटेंशन ऑन सहस्त्रारा, नाउ वी लिसन श्री माता जी अमृत वाणी। जय श्री माता जी।
It was very beautiful of children to come and receive me in this beautiful manner. It can take you back to the days of Krishna, when in his childhood he was very much respected by his friends. And they tried to do all the honor that was possible.
C'était très joli.
You know the story of his birth. Also you know the story. I think if you stop the water, then otherwise my speech might be little bit. You know the story of his birth. And here we have the flowing of water both the sides. The way he used to play his flute along the Jamna river. The whole thing looks sometimes so human, but it is not. At the right time, whenever he needed as a child, he manifested his powers. That he killed a woman who was a devil. Ultimately he killed Kamsa. After that, you know that he preached Gita. But it's not so fast as that. After killing Kansa, he went down to Dwarika to rule there. And there he had to marry 5 more wives. First he had 16,000 wives. So the many people can ask a question, Mother, what sort of a husband he must be? These 16,000 should explain that he has 16 petals. On his domain of Vishuddhi Chakra. And these 16 petals multiplied by the 1,000 petals of the Sahasrara become 16,000. So these are 16,000 powers which are available to us also. These 16,000 powers are working in the brain. These powers could not come as Yogis, so they came as women who were entrapped by a king, exactly 16,000. And he married them, because by marriage it was all very dharmic. Also he married 5 wives later who represented the 5 elements. Incarnation cannot be understood from human angle. Can never be understood, I should say. Because their ways and methods are different. They have ways and methods of their own, but they do not expose them to other people, not that they are afraid to expose or they don't want to expose, but it will not be intelligible. It cannot be understood by human beings. If you ask me a question, say, Mother, how do you manage that? I may just change the topic very cleverly. So now I am going to tell you about 16,000 petals of the Sahasrara. And now we can start the translation. In gist you can tell them. So now to understand the 16,000 powers that you have got in your brain already manifesting. As soon as you get your realization, those 16,000 powers start manifesting. Every petal of Sahasrara has got 16 powers, and these are, the petals are made of the 5 elements. So these 5 elements who create these 1,000 petals have got 16 powers on every petal. Now the 5 elements is the right side, which is the content, or we can say the matter of the brain. The matter of the brain is created in such a manner that it has a protective matter also. So we have grey matter and also the white matter which is outside to protect the grey matter. Now these 16 powers which are expressed in every petal. Shri Krishna is an incarnation of the left side. So the 16 powers which are coming from the left side adorn the petals which are made of 5 elements. But these powers already exist in the brain. By these 5 plus 16 powers, we do all our nervous system work. For example, if you have to lift your hand like this, then it is worked first of all through the left side which desires that it should be lifted, and then is ordered to the 5 powers or 5 elements, they go into the action. Also we have in our system a special type of arrangement where there is a reflex action which is built earlier in our evolution. So in a human consciousness, whatever works is not a reflex action. But now when you are Sahasrara is enlightened with the Kundalini, all these 1000 powers multiply it into 16,000. So all the nerves in the body get enlightened. Your attention becomes enlightened. With these 1000 dimensions, you become collectively conscious. We can say like this, if there are 16 people staying in 5 houses and they are working separately and sometimes coordinate, but a flood comes in. As a result of the flood, all these houses are brought together and get enveloped into the energy of that flood. Then they join hands together. They forget their houses and they start using now a new energy of collective consciousness. This is exactly what has happened in you. That as soon as the Kundalini has risen within you and given you realization, the flood has brought these dormant energies in you into play. You don't have to think that you have to hold each other's hand when there's a flood, you just hold it automatically, spontaneous. So all the energies suddenly start getting into motion. So this power where the 1000 energies of the brain suddenly awakened is the power called as Viratangana. That is, she is the power of the Virat. She is the power which makes Shri Krishna a Virat. So the 16,000 powers which he achieves in your being is done through the power of Viratangana. And at this modern times, you know who is that. So the Adi Shakti takes the form of Viratangana. With that enlightenment, you achieve your realization. So the Kundalini passing through different centers, enlightening the different energies, ultimately comes to the brain and enlightens the Viratangana power. At this point, at the brain point, the Kundalini starts spreading in the head. She of course shoots off from the Sahasrara, but also she trickles down through this plate of the brain downwards
Évidemment,
on the sympathetic. That relaxes you. That's why you feel relaxed. It relaxes the sympathetic. That enlarges the centers. It brings it back to its normal positions. The enlargement of the parasympathetic or sushumna makes the kundalini rise in more quantum. It is all done by a reflex action of kundalini. So the kundalini is already built in such a manner that when she rises, she automatically does all these things. So your kundalini has got the power to enlighten all your centers and to enlighten your brain and to relax you, to increase the size of the centers and make the kundalini rise again. But the kundalini has a very special power that every human being's kundalini knows me. Many people who have just seen my photograph have got their kundalini awakened. But if your centers are very clouded or exhausted or jammed together or separated away from each other, then the kundalini stops there. That's why some people get realization very fast and some take time. These conditioned minds are the most difficult. What's happening?
I don't know.
Is it touching each other? Energy joined together. Now the rising of the kundalini is achieved better in a place which is frequented or visited or lived into by saints. Also for people who are not so complicated. For example, today only I discovered that the Catholic Church has complicated your lives so much. I did not know that they have been preaching that sex is a sin. Then, if that is so, that means only Adam and Eve too would have lived on this earth. And these people were not with Adam and Eve to know what they did. And this absurd idea was very much there also at the time of Shri Krishna
Et des idées
among Indians. And as a result of that, we had ascetics who were very hot-tempered. They developed one-sided personality of, say, a sun. Like if they looked at somebody, they could just burn him off, bhasma. And such austerity they had that if you had to talk to them, you had to use at least a distant, some pole. Such horrid people. But Shri Krishna, when he was born, he found out this imbalance is being created. At the same time, his cousin, whose name was Neminath, who was a Jain Tirthankar, developed an aversion to meat eating. As a result of that, another extreme nature started. And people thought that eating meat is a sin. All kinds of varieties of sins started prospering. And they had brands. This brand, that brand. As you have brand like Christian Dior, this, that, like that, this sin, this sin, this sin, like that. But underneath, they were very much infatuated by sex. They are the ones who started these erotic temples in India, Jains. Now the other side of it is that the horrible Hindu saints, not saints I should say, what should we call them, ascetics, and the terrible, these Jain people, all put together formed a formidable idea about religion. So Krishna took an incarnation. It was not only to kill Kamsa, but to tell people that this kind of stupid conditioning is not religion. Religion can never be against the natural laws. But the ascent starts moving from a sex which has no maryadas, or in the lower animals it is even worse than that, going up to a point in human beings where it has to have maryadas, to be devoted to one person and be faithful to that person. And then he brought forth the religion of natural maryadas. You have to marry the person.
You have to marry.
Marry. You had to marry the person. Marriage.
Vous devez épouser quelqu'un. Marry.
He gets nervous with the word. All right. As people do get nervous.
On devient nerveux.
Now, he had married 5 wives and 16,000 more. So they challenged. What do you say of one marriage with one person? You already have so many wives. Then I have told you already a story how he proved that he was a Yogeshwara. He was beyond all these relationships. And this shows that for Yogeshwaras, it does not matter how many times he marries. Or for a Yogeshwari like me, how many children I have.
Ooh.
So the times, or what we call the samayachar, makes a person behave in a particular manner, which is an incarnation. There was a murder case for a man who was following Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Of course it was not established, but he felt that after all he is Krishna, so he can kill people. Now, Krishna was an incarnation. He knew whom to kill and how to kill. He said that nobody is living now, I have already killed them.
Oh.
The discretion of an incarnation is perfect. So, one should not immediately think that because an incarnation has done like this, so we can also do. But human beings always take over. That's the stupidity part of all the human beings, I must say. Like the Christian, all of them believe they must get crucified and they must suffer. Are you Christ? By so many crucifixions of so many stupid Christians, what are we going to achieve? All sorts of complicated ideas come out of all this kind of a nonsensical thing. Just to say there has to be gloom. Like yesterday, as I told you, it's a miserable people. Christ crucified himself so that your agya could be cleared and that you enjoy life. Because Christ himself was an incarnation, and whether you crucify him or do not crucify him makes no difference to him. So the difference between the incarnation and a human being is to be understood first of all in Krishna's life. When it started raining heavily and when Indra wanted to put down Shri Krishna, the rains were so strong, he just lifted one mountain, Govardhan, on his one finger. So the other who were his followers, his gopas, they also had some sticks with them, so they also put some sticks, you see. But they were children. Now, I don't understand the people who are so grown up,
Mais on ne
who look grown up, and behave worse than children. Nature teaches us all the time. See, now people are understanding that whatever they have done as far as the marriage is concerned is a wrong thing, and now they are coming down to what Shri Krishna had said.
Le mariage est compris.
What did you say?
As far as what is concerned.
Again marriage.
Marriage, again. Donc les humains ont compris
It's
que...
like a red rag to him. And to many. That's also, I think, is this Catholic Church. But why did Christ attend a wedding? I mean, this should be understood. If he was against marriage, why did he attend a wedding and also made wine for them? But they use that incident just because they want to drink wine. But even there, Christ was very careful. What he did, he made water into wine in a second like that. But to make an alcohol, you must ferment it. I can also do that. So what? But I can't make an alcohol. I'll have to put some fungus into it. So this is what it is. How people have made God or incarnations into according to their small minds and according to their selfish ends. Because if you say that you are originally a sinner, then you say, now what do we do? Now for atonement, you give lots of money. And God doesn't understand money. What's the use? It's all wrong. Absolutely wrong. You have committed no sins. These are all non-existent things they are talking about. But I've seen in the West, people would say, how can our Kundalini rise? We are sinners. Better give up all these conditionings. Nobody is a sinner. That's what Shri Krishna said. Of course, he divided people into three categories basically. But he said that anybody can get self-realization and could be enlightened. If he had believed that people are sinners, he would not have said this. This is absolutely anti-God and anti-Christ and anti-Krishna. Here you are, the Virata has created you up to a point, brought you to a point. Now you are just about to flower out. And already you are told that as seeds you had some disease in you. So all the great work of evolution, the great work of taking you to the kingdom of God is completely cut out. So today is the day to be joyous, to be happy, but not jumping in the sea, keeping to your boat of Maryada. Because you have got now your brain enlightened. This brain is now such a powerful thing you have got that it pierces through all the 5 koshas you have around you, all the 5 auras around you made by the 5 elements. This brain touches the subtle of the ether, the subtle of the Mother Earth, the subtle of all the elements. By this enlightenment you have become subtle. So we have to forget about the gross things. Gross things just follow anything that is subtle, just like a magnet attracts. Once in Australia, it was a puja of Shri Ganesha. And the hibiscus red flower is the flower for Shri Ganesha. And when we were going for the puja, all around I saw this hibiscus flower coming. So I told Sahajogis, better stop the car somewhere and get hold of some of these flowers for the puja. But then they forgot. You know the mantra, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Bhranti Rupena Samstita. So the illusion. And then they suddenly remembered, oh mother, we've forgotten the flowers. I said, it's nice you've forgotten. Somebody has taken over from you. That's why you've forgotten. When we reached the puja thing, the whole place was filled with baskets and baskets of those flowers. So when you forget, don't think that you have forgotten something, so something has gone wrong with you. No, it has gone to your subtle understanding, which works out in a reflex manner, but into 16,000 dimensions. Can you imagine an instrument with 16,000 wires connected with another 16,000 wires, with another 16,000 wires, and all the time working so efficiently? This is the work of Virat, and this is the work of this enlightened mind. So you don't have to worry about the gross part. You want an ashram, you'll have it. Anything gross, mundane, will work out. But at this stage, you must remember that you have to just put your attention to it for a minute. Just an attention, what we say is the bandhan, and it works. But the main thing one has to remember, that we are yogis, we are enlightened souls. We are specially blessed people with special powers. And there are very simple ways by which we can control all these mundane things. And the whole thing will happen so beautifully that you will be surprised. That is what one has to realize, the powers of your Sahasrara. I have told you that 16 powers already were there. So, 16 powers that were there were 12 of the heart and 4 of Sri Ganesha were in your brain already. And that is how you were an emotional person, and you had relationship of emotions and also relationship with others of innocence as well as of relationship of marriage. This was all built in within you. But because of this kind of stupid ideas, all these natural feelings were suppressed, that nobody was a sister, nobody was a child, nobody was a brother, and all these stupid ideas have finished those beautiful feelings of flowers, of fragrance, completely destroyed. The false fears and the false ideas and the false prohibitions all have ruined that part of the brain. The ghost, correct. And the right side started working. Only the right side working. Then left side doesn't exist. All the values of the left side do not exist. Only the right side and the connection with the right side, with the things that we do with the right side. Also to add it up, so many things came, like industrial revolution and the war and all that. So the right side became the dominant part. And this ego developed. Ego makes you feel very important, and you just love becomes nothing but egocentric. In addition to that, when money became important, then it is like somebody who is already a drunk man and a scorpion bites him. The situation was very bad. All the ways and methods, permutations and combinations of escalating this situation, escalating this ego, was created by the same ego. This is the most dangerous thing we have in the West. For them, even a love for the wife, thank you, is a thing to be valued in money. Everything is business. Whether it is church, whether it is mafia, whether it is politics, everything is money. Money becomes the power. Then, if money is everything, why care for chastity? Why care for innocence? Why care for art? Whatever can sell is art. Whatever can fetch money is relationship. So the whole dryness on the left-hand side created a problem again for the left-sided extremes to be sucked in. So the collective subconscious was sucked into your subconscious mind and then to your conscious mind. And you can say that the ego reached such a point into your brain that it started getting into superego. And a very messy personality was created. So I have to tell you one, you are in for your ascent. You are in for getting all your powers. And you are in for your kingdom of God. But you must work out your left side with understanding of purity, pure relationships, and the right side by facing it, facing your plastic ego. When you don't want to do something, ask yourself, why am I not doing it? And when the left side is sucked in, a lethargy and inertia sets in. All the right side gets completely drenched or completely overpowered by the left side powerful entities. People feel very tired all the time and they want always to drink or to take drugs to go to the left side, and the inertia sets in. That's why there is a problem. But collectively, if we understand this is the problem, we all can work it out together. Not despising anyone, not correcting anyone, but correcting yourself and not correcting your leaders. It will work out. I am sure it will work out. Today is a great day. And I remember this France, such inertia like rock of Gibraltar. I didn't know how to move their brains. Brains were made of plastic. What to do with them? Can you believe in the first year I came 3 times. I went on banging in France, and even English people said, Mother, why do you go to France so often? Now, even the English are comparable.
Maintenant, les Anglais sont comparables aussi.
I should have been equally dynamic about them, and I was. It was a work of tremendous patience and love, of understanding that they are deserving cases, lost in the wilderness of ego. But they are the ones who will save Europe, England, and America. May God bless you.
जय श्री माता जी। अब हम सब आरती के लिए खड़े होंगे। नाउ वी विल ऑल स्टैंड फॉर आरती।
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियाला, माँ कर दिया उजियाला। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना माँ, नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री स्वामी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
श्री माता जी, आपका कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद कि आपने हमें अपने श्री चरणों की आराधना करने का अवसर दिया। थैंक यू श्री माता जी फॉर गिविंग अस this opportunity to worship your holy lotus feet. जय श्री माता जी। Nirmal